they flipped once again. I have all the details and the new announcements that were just released today right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, it has been another very busy day, and in this video, I want to discuss 3 announcements that just hit the wire, as these announcements will impact millions upon millions of Americans. However, I do want to throw this out there as well. A couple of the topics I'm going to be discussing in this video may be a little bit controversial. Please remember, I am not here to cause controversy at all, but rather I'm here to keep you updated with what is actually going on because, like I've said before in other videos, all of this is highly correlated and all of this is highly intertwined. Therefore, we need to pay attention to what is actually going on because all of this is going to impact us in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, I'm here to bring you those updates. So let's get into it and discuss the big announcements that just hit the wire today and what all this means for all of us right here in the community and going forward. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm watching all these headlines, all the announcements, and all this new information hitting the wire. I'm doing all the research, breaking it down into these videos to help you out in any way that I can, as well as show you how this is going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course point out anything you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward. And also remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about the announcements that were released today and what does this mean for everybody. All right, so stick with me. Some of these announcements may impact some of us and some of it may not impact others. Therefore, stick with me on this because there's a lot of weird stuff. In fact, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, you probably heard me say this literally every single day. I can't even imagine some of the announcements that are going to come out. It's like, what are we going to hear today? I mean, seriously, it's anybody's guess at that point. And honestly, I watch all this stuff every day, and I couldn't even give you the next guess as far as what's going to be announced tomorrow. Not a clue. Seriously, a lot of weird stuff happening. Anyway, let me quickly talk about topic number 1, which is the administration came out today and they extended out the student loan moratorium yet again. Do you remember a few months ago when President Biden was out and said, this is the last time we are extending these federal student loan payments out? They're going to be restarting as of January 2023. Well, guess what? They extended them out yet again, okay? So if you're somebody who has federal student loans, you don't need to worry, because if you are worried about those payments resuming as of January, well, it's not happening. As of right now, it is not happening. So the whole long portion of this story, let me break it down for you here in as quick as time as I possibly can for you. Basically what happens is this is held up in court right now, right? So there's some litigation going on, there's some talk about this, and basically the whole thing is held up in court. Well, as a result of that, they came out and said, well, it's going to continue to stay in place, as in the federal student loan moratorium will stay in place. In other words, payments are not required, right? Beyond the end of this year, right? Because they were supposed to be ending the end of this year. But again, they're extending it out. It's basically going to be extended out 60 days beyond when it actually emerges from court. So it could be all the way out for a long time now, or whatever comes first, 60 days after it gets out of court, or June 30th and 60 days after that. So we've got a lot of time here. So if you're a federal student loan borrower, you've got a lot of time before you need to resume payments, okay? You've got a lot of time. We're talking like a lot of months. I mean, seriously, it could be a long, long time here, okay? So I want to bring that update and let you know on this because I do know that there are a number of you here in the community that do have federal student loans. And again, I know a lot of people have been kind of nervous about these payments restarting here in not that long, a few weeks, right? Kind of scary stuff, but that is the fact of the matter. And don't need to worry about it. As of right now, it's going to be extended for a lot longer. And again, it could be a lot longer going even forward. And again, you know, they didn't necessarily say this time it's going to be the last extension. Like last time, a few months ago, they said this is the last extension. And then sure enough, here we are with another extension, okay? So anyway, you know, you can always file for the forgiveness as well. Those applications are still open if you want to do that. So those applications will continue to be open all the way through, I believe it's November of next year, to 2023. So a long time. You got like a year to do it, okay? Anyway, that is update number 1. Now, update number 2. Again, I completely recognize this one is pretty controversial, okay? I get that. However, I want to point this out because kind of interesting what they're talking about right now. So, a new report that was just released today out of HHS, which, by the way, HHS stands for Department of Health and Human Services, okay? This is, a federal program. It's a federal entity. But basically what they are doing, a new report that came out suggesting mandatory masking. Yeah, you heard that right? So, highly recommended and or mandatory masking. You gotta be kidding me, right? I thought these days were over, you know what I mean? Anyway, here's what's happening behind this. Let me tell you the details about this. So basically what the report is coming out now saying is that they should possibly be implementing highly recommended masking and or mandatory masking across the entire United States because there are millions of people right now struggling because of long COVID. So basically what happens is somebody gets COVID and then, it goes away. And then sure enough, for months and months or maybe indefinitely, they're going to start experiencing these long COVID side effects, as in like whatever the side effects are, brain fogginess. There's all kinds of different side effects. I mean, the list literally goes on and on and on. But basically what's happening is there's a lot of people out there that can't function at the capacity that they once did prior to COVID simply because they're suffering from long COVID. So this is what they're now suggesting is there's way too many people, millions of people that are suffering from long COVID. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the exact number that I saw. It was in the millions. Millions upon millions of people are suffering from long COVID. Part of me feels like it was like something like 10 million people or something. It was a huge number of people that are struggling from long COVID right now. Again, that's not the exact number. I'm forgetting the number that I saw on this, but it was a big number. Millions of people that are struggling from long COVID. And they're simply saying in this report, we might need to implement mandatory masking so that we can avoid and stop this, basically the spread of COVID so that no more people fall ill to this long COVID situation going forward. So again, just another one that's out there right now. And this is just another report. Again, I know this is very controversial. I get it. The whole masking thing has been controversial for a very long time, basically since it started. But again, we got to pay attention to this stuff because this is what they're talking about, okay? That's why you got to pay attention to this stuff, right? Because you never know, unless you see this stuff on your local news, which I guarantee you, your local news is not talking about a new report out of the HHS talking about mandatory masking. I guarantee it. If your local news talks about that, let me know. I'd be very surprised if anybody's talking about this. But if you want to check it out, feel free to look it up. It's a real thing, just released today. Now next, on a little bit of a lighter note, let me talk about something else here. And this is just in Chicago now. Here's what's interesting about it. Just released today is a new program in Chicago called Chicago Resilience 2.0. Do you want to take a guess what this might be? Yeah, you called it. $500 checks going out to people in Chicago. 4,000 people are going to be chosen to get a $500 check. Now, here's the thing. I want to say this much as well. If you're in the Chicago area, you may be actually eligible for this. So again, pay attention to this, and you probably want to look into this a little bit further because you may actually be eligible to grab this $500. So is for those people who were claiming an adult dependent. And if you weren't able to get some of the funds from the federal stimulus checks and things like that, you may be eligible for this. Now, I'm going to give you a website here. It is called chicash.org. Seriously, that's what it is, okay? CHI cash.org is the website where you can go to apply for this. So CHI, like Chicago, right? CHICASH .org. So .org. Chicash.org. I don't know. Kind of sounds cool, right? So anyway, this chicash.org website is where you can go to apply for this. And again, it's $500 for 4,000 people that are going out. So if you live in the Chicago area, honestly, if you even live anywhere near Chicago, you might want to check it out. You might be able to grab some of this. So I'm not really sure how they're going to determine who gets the money. I'm not sure if it's a lottery or if they're going to be going through and assessing all the applications. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know. I read into it. I did not see a specific way that they're going to choose people. They simply just said they're going to choose 4,000 people. Well, how are you going to choose the people? Is it you throw a bunch of ping pong balls in a little spinner thing and spin it around and pick out numbers? I mean, seriously, how are you going to do it? I don't really know that. I could not find an answer on that. But this is something. And again, applications will be open through December 9th. It's either to December 9th or through December 9th. Either way, December 9th is the key date. So if you're in that area, please check it out right away. Don't wait until the last minute. It's not worth it, okay? Just if you live in the Chicago area, check it out right away. There's no need to wait on that one. So again, the website chicash.org is where you can apply for that one. So weird stuff. I mean, seriously, did anybody guess that these things were going to happen today? I never would have guessed it. Just being real with you, I never would have guessed all this stuff would have been released today. Now, again, these are just some of the announcements that came out today. There were many other announcements that came out today, but these are a few that I thought were very important and that I wanted to bring to your attention because realistically, a lot of these announcements that I just talked about right here will impact either all of us or a huge percentage of us in this community, and therefore, we got to pay attention to all this going forward, right? So, with that being said, we got to continue watching everything going forward. And again, what else is interesting too is these couple new variants of COVID. Again, I know controversial stuff here, but again, I'm not here to cause controversy. I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just here to bring you the updates as I'm finding it through the research. But what's happening is these couple new variants of COVID are spreading around the country right now, and they're still predicting a massive surge this coming winter. So, we're basically right on the brink of the holidays here, right? So a lot of people are going to be getting together. In fact, AAA is predicting just under 55 million people are going to be traveling this Thanksgiving, like right now, basically, right? So 55 million people. I did not run the numbers on that to see what percentage of the population that is, but it's a big percentage of the population. What is that? Like 1/6 of the population? Yeah, that's about 1/6 of the population. So 1 out of every 6 people walking around out there is going to be traveling here over the next few days. It's a lot of people, okay? So anyway, these are the updates I wanted to bring to you right here in this video. I hope this helps you out. And again, sometimes, like I said, earlier, I know that some of these updates don't pertain to everybody, but at the end of the day, we gotta watch this stuff and see what's going on. Just like the reasons that you watch your local news. You gotta stay paying attention to what's going on in your local area, right? I know a lot of us recently have been turning off the local news, right? Honestly, I don't even watch the local news. I haven't watched it in years because I just don't want to watch it anymore, right? But anyway, my point is you got to pay attention to this stuff. Just like if you were to turn on the local news, you do that because you want to see what's going on in my local area. Well, not only that, we got to see what's going on the broad picture as well. What's going on the federal level, the national level, what's happening out there because, all of this may come around and it may impact us in some way, shape, or form. And again, will it lead to something else? I don't know. It's anybody's guess, right? We just got to continue watching and seeing what happens here. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a nice day. Stay warm out there. Enjoy your evening, and I'll catch you again tomorrow in the next video.